Welcome to the Miromaa 3 video tutorials. This video will assist you in using the editor screen within Miromaa. So here we are on the main menu screen for Miromaa. We've logged into our language database and we're going to go over to the left to the view menu, and below that we're going to go down and click on editor. So here we are on the editor screen for your language database, and by now you will have entered in some language words through the entry screen. So when you open up your editor screen, you'll see that those entries will appear, starting off with your first entry. So up the top you'll see your language name, your language original recorded spelling, your English word, and English original recorded translation. Down the bottom in the sentence tab, this is where you can enter in a language sentence. Over to the right, your translated sentence. Do make sure that when you are putting in your translated sentence that you are putting it in an English translation and it does make sense in English, because below that you have the option of putting in a word-for-word sentence. As we know, Indigenous languages are free word order, so this is where you can put in your word-for-word sentence or your translated sentence. Over to the left is our multimedia area. Underneath that you can attach images, your audio, video, and any other multimedia files to your particular language word entry. Do watch the Attach Multimedia Files video to learn how to do this. Over to the right in the Source and Controls tab, we can see here that this has already been selected and completed through the entry screen, but if we click on that we can see that we've got our options there for our sources. Also our page reference or any other reference that we may have put in there should already appear there. If not, do be aware that you can complete or change any of these fields. Underneath that we have the controls area. This is where we're going to start ticking some boxes. So if we believe that this particular language word entry is a main word within our language, we're going to click on the box beside it and tick it. Whether we want this word learner accessible, is this word going to be available on the learner screen within our language database? As this word only means blind, I am happy to tick that box. Visibility. So if we click on the drop down box there, we do have those options of unrestricted, questionable, sacred, sexual, and restricted. This word only means blind, as I said, so I'm going to leave that as unrestricted. You may have words within your language database that are sacred, may also fall into a sexual or restricted category, so you may select those boxes. Era. You will see that the default, if I click on the drop down menu, is not yet classified. So you do have those options of modern, post-contact, traditional. As I can see that I've got this one here recently created. This is one option that I have already added to my language database, and that was through adding eras. So that's in the how-to videos. But I'm going to click on traditional in this case. Over to the right we have the checked by. I'm going to click on this box because I believe that the person who entered this through the entry screen has completed everything correctly. The language word has been spelt correctly. The English translation is correct. You do have the boxes there and the option of locked by, archived by. Do make sure that you watch the archiving videos to see whether archiving may be an option for some words within your language database. Next we'll go over to the Notes tab. This is where we can put in some extra information. So I know that for this particular language word that this isn't the only spelling or pronunciation of this language word. So I'm just going to type in that information, and I'm just going to reference that. You also have the option down the bottom for linguistic comments. This may be where you have a linguist who is working on your language, so there's an area for them to complete should they want to put in any comments relating to language words. Next one over is your reference tab. As I can see, a word category has been added. Part of speech, there's nothing there, so I'm going to go down and click on add. Click on the appropriate word type, click on add, and I'll now see in that box there that there is the option of the part of speech is now there. Last tab over is the custom tab. This is where you may have entered in your custom fields or may not have for your language database. I've decided that these aren't applicable to this particular language word entry, so I'm not going to complete those. So as you can see, this is the language editor screen. So this is where you can complete extra information for your language words, decide what your controls are, who has access to it. As I said, you can actually go over and scroll through by clicking on these buttons down the bottom and go through each of your language entries. You can also begin to enter words, so if I click on the plus tab, I can begin entering in some language words from the editor screen as well. I hope this video has assisted you in using the editor screen within your language database.